to the library. It's a place where I love to be. Look in a book, here's a story for you. Who makes stories when the day is through? Who makes stories when the day is through? Story makers, working through the night till the rising sun. Story makers, stories are fabulous, stories are fun.
Webster Wordsworth.
Jelly and Jackson.
Working through the night till the rising sun. Story makers, stories are fabulous, stories are fun. Come on, be a story maker.
I think it's time to go home now.
Story makers. Story makers. Story makers.
It's midnight in the library. Hello.
Time for all story makers to come out. Are you ready?
The sun is down, the stars are bright. Story makers come out at night. Hello, story maker. I'm Webster Wordsworth, magical maker of stories. Would you like to make some stories too?
Look out, Jelly. Here it comes.
Stop it, Jackson.
It's all right, Jelly. It's not a real octopus.
Well, why is it hanging on your fishing rod then?
Because I hooked it. It's a fishing game. I saw the children playing it earlier. You have to hook things on the end of your rod. Do you want to go?
Well,
I can hear the waves.
Webster.
I can hear the sea. I can hear the seagulls calling to me.
Webster. Wow, look at that shell.
Hi, it's wonderful, isn't it? And if you listen very carefully, something magical happens.
Can I have a listen?
Yes.
Oh, wow. It sounds like the waves.
That's right, Jackson. Waves swirling and rushing, splashing and splashing.
Me.
Oh, okay, Jelly, it's your turn.
Yeah. Oh.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, it sounds like the library is sailing on the sea.
Well, you know, it could be.
Oh, yes. Let's pretend that the library is a ship. Could we, Webster?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't see why not. Now, let me think.
Webster, shall Jackson and I make a story while you're thinking? Yeah? Yeah?
Well,
Okay, yeah.
Jelly, I could catch that boat, and then we could have a boat story. In it goes.
Will you help us imagine?
Yes.
Imagine a story. Oh, it's a playbook.
And it's called Robin and India's Houseboat.
Where sea and river meet, at the edge of the land, there sits a houseboat with a great red deck and a yellow cabin wall. Inside the houseboat, India, Robin and their mum were practicing their painting. They practiced curves and curls, swirls, splodges, and splidges. They painted flowers and trees for a very special reason. They were going to paint a boat garden for Dad's birthday. They quickly got to work in the hot sun, dabbing, sweeping, dripping the paint on the yellow wall. while Mum found some hats to keep the sun off. Their friend, Ollie, who lived on a boat nearby, came to help.
Wow!
There was so much to do. Sweeping, stroking, and spotting. More friends, Anu and Lockie, came to visit and to help. Pressing, stroking, and splatting the paint onto the wall until at last the paint garden was finished. The garden was full of flowers, birds and trees, and even brightly colored buzzing bees. A short while later, as India watered the garden, Robin noticed someone coming home. It was Dad! Happy birthday! And there Dad sat for the rest of the day in his special houseboat garden.
Oh, that was fun, wasn't it? I would love to live in a houseboat like Robin and India.
Come on, Jackson! The library is about to set sail!
All aboard the good ship Storymaker! All aboard as we set sail across the sea in search of stories!
Wait for me!
Yeah, wait for Jackson!
Yes, of course. We wouldn't go without you, Jackson. Now, let me see.
Oh, Webster! What are they?
They're called wind chimes, my little jelly jewel. And when the wind is close by, it plays them and they tinkle.
Oh.
But as there is no wind in the library tonight, you'll have to play them.
Oh.
Just run your hand across them like this.
Oh, they're so dreamy.
Right. Are we all present and correct?
All pleasant.
And collect.
Is the wind right for sailing, Sailor Jenny?
Yeah. It is now.
Oh, yes, the wind's blowing.
Well, away then.
Away,
Sailor
then.
Jackson?
Yes.
Hoist the anchor if you please.
I do, please.
Heave ho! Away! This is the life. A calm sea and nothing to see for miles.
I can see lots of fishes in the sea.
Oh, there are shells and seaweed and underwater caves. Oh, yes.
And huge whales and tiny slimy snails. And a shark over there.
Where?
Where?
Only joking.
Oh, Jackson? Oh, if I'm not mistaken, that looks like land up ahead. Yes, yes, it is.
Oh, shall I lower the anchor?
If you please.
I do, please.
Well, oh,
Oops, it's gone in the story machine.
we'd better make a story. We're going to need lots of imagination. Can you help?
Yes.
Imagine. Imagine. Imagine
A story.
It's a Barnacle Rock story.
And it's called Gruff Moves House.
Papa Clam and Ellie say hi. Hi. Little Lee and Harry say ho. Ho. With Gruff and Electra they're gonna search for treasure down amongst the barnacles of Barnacle Rock. Yeah.
Once upon a tide at Barnacle Rock, a great kerfuffle woke Ellie up. It was coming from behind Gruff's slimy stone.
Morning, barnacles.
Called Ellie. Who's making all that noise? And why is Gruff's slimy stone wobbling about?
Morning, Ellie.
Chimed the barnacles.
Gruff's trying to move house. He's ever so grumpy, so watch out.
Ellie floated over to take a closer look. Gruff was pushing his stone as hard as he could.
It's no good. I can't move it.
He grumbled.
What are you up to, Gruff?
Ellie asked.
I want to move house,
He grunted.
but I want to take my house with me. Sea snails do it, so why can't I?
Because your stone is too heavy, laughed Ellie. Why don't you find a new stone instead?
Not likely.
Gruff huffed.
No stone can be as beautiful and slimy as this one.
Then Electra and Harry swam by.
Come and help us move Gruff's house.
Called Ellie. But just as the creatures were about to start pushing, something fell from above. It was huge and hooky, and it had a long tail that stretched up out of sight.
Look out, there's an hook-headed snake about.
Sparked Electra. The creatures hid in the seaweed. After a while, Ellie peeped out to see if the snake was still about. Yes, it was still there all right, and it had lodged one of its hooks under Gruff's stone.
Perhaps we should ask Papa Clam what it is.
Suggested Ellie.
Did somebody call?
Papa Clam appeared from underneath the sand.
No, help us for spark's sake before we get gobbled up by an hook-headed snake.
Hissed Electra.
That's no snake, Electra, my girl. It's an anchor. The people up top drop them from their ships to stop them floating off. Then they pull them up when they want the ships to start moving again. It's all right, Gruff. It won't be there forever.
Good.
Grumped Gruff. Suddenly, with a big jolt, the anchor shot upwards, taking Gruff's stone with it.
Come back, stone.
Cried Gruff.
Nobble and wobble!
Chimed the barnacles. Gruff's stone landed safely on the seabed a little way off from its old resting place. Everyone quivered nervously, but Gruff was looking proudly at his slimy stone.
I've moved home after all.
He grinned. That's enough excitement for one day, smiled Ellie.
Ooh, did you see that? Our anchor landed in Barnacle Rock, and when I pulled it pulled up Gruff's slimy stone.
Oh, choppy waters up ahead. It looks like we're sailing into a storm. Listen to that wind, Jelly! I said, listen to that wind, Jelly! Wind.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here comes a wave as big as an elephant!
Down! Here comes a wave as big as a huge house.
Here comes a wave as big as 2 huge houses. My tummy feels funny.
Oh, that's all right, Jelly. Calmer waters up ahead. Well, look at that.
What? What is
A
it?
lighthouse.
Oh, good. That will help us to miss those rocks.
Rocks!
Rocks. Oh, we're too close to the rocks.
I think we've landed.
I think it's time for a story.
Can we have a lighthouse story, Webster?
Oh, that's a good idea, Jellykins. One lighthouse picture for a lighthouse story. And now we need some imagination. Are you ready? Imagine a story. It's a blue cow story. A blue cow and the lighthouse.
In a field not far away is a herd of cows grazing quietly. One of the cows is most unusual. Blue Cow wonders about the big world beyond her field. One day, Blue Cow was looking at the clouds way up in the sky. Oh, I wonder what it would be like if the clouds weren't up so high. She's off again, said the other cows. So Blue Cow caught the bus that stops beside her field. I'd like a ticket to a very cloudy place, please. There you go, madam. Hold very tight. And they set off for the sea. And then they arrived. She was in a boat. All around her was the sea. The clouds were very, very low and grey. It was foggy.
Ahoy there!
Shouted a voice. Blue Cow looked up. She could see a large creature that had a long, long neck and one eye that kept winking at her.
Wink, wink, wink. Hello,
She shouted.
I'm Blue Cow.
I'm Virginia.
Yelled the creature.
Are you lost?
Blue Cow looked around. It was so foggy that she couldn't see anything.
Moo, I think so.
Best head towards me then.
Cried Virginia. Blue Cow rowed the boat towards her. She really couldn't see much, but every time Virginia winked, Blue Cow knew which way to go.
Left a bit. Right a bit. Right a bit more.
The boat landed on something hard,
Welcome ashore.
said Virginia. Blue Cow looked up at the creature, but it wasn't a creature at all,
No, I'm down here.
said Virginia. Standing next to Blue Cow was a small wolf,
Oh, hello. I thought that was you.
said Blue Cow.
Oh no, that's my lighthouse. There's a light inside that goes on and off, so all the ships and boats know which way to go.
Oh, it's certainly very handy on a foggy day. Thank you for helping me.
Said Blue Cow.
You're very welcome.
Oh, you'll never guess where I've been.
Where have you been?
I've been to the sea where it was foggy and I saw a lighthouse.
Everyone knows cows can't visit lighthouses. But we know they can, don't we?
Oh, I like lighthouses. And I like ships as well. Especially our library ship.
Yes, but I'm tired now.
Oh, but Jelly, you're never tired. Oh, it must be the sea air.
Oh, no. I know why Jelly is tired. It's nearly morning. The library will be opening soon.
Yes, my little treasures. Dawn is upon us. The morning is nigh. We've made our stories, and we bid you goodbye.
Bye.
Story makers, working through the night till the rising sun. Story makers, stories are fabulous, stories are
Come
fun.
back and see us soon.
Bye, Story Maker. Thanks for helping.